Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bachelor Pad Theater. If you're wondering where the theme song went, well, Sony Music Entertainment bought out, I guess, the BBC's rights to Masterpiece Theater. Now they're being complete pricks about it, and anyone who ever used that on YouTube can't use it anymore. So all my videos from Bachelor Pad Theater are gone. So we have to do it without the musical intro. Anyway, I got into a conversation with a young man, and he was very upset, very angry at the world. Particularly, he wanted revenge. Like, how do you get revenge on the left for what they did to your life, or lowered your potential in life by voting in higher taxes and a socialist economy and stuff like that. And he felt a little bit helpless, so I recommended that he read the chapter Revenge in my book, Enjoy the Decline. And that's the excerpt we're going to read through, because I actually say, what did I write back then? I'm kind of curious. And I read, I'm like, holy shit, did I write this? Because every once in a while, you're like, oh yeah, I might have done a good thing or two in my life. I might have actually created something of literary worth. So I'd like to share that with you today on Bachelor Pad Theater. Destroyed lives. I often wonder or theorize about liberals lying on their deathbeds. For example, say a confirmed feminist is on her deathbed. She's always blamed sexism for her problems in life, always voted Democrat, always thought there was a glass ceiling. She dedicated her entire life to fighting against the patriarchy, and in doing so ensured that she has no family at her bedside. But before she passes on, does she ever ask, what if I was wrong? What if men really weren't oppressive, just different? What if I went out with that boy back in college instead of standing him up? Could I have worn heels? Would I have liked family life? Alas, the questions are moot as she passes away with those thoughts in her mind. Along the same lines, say you have a dying black man who has always blamed racism for his problems. He always voted Democrat, he always thought he was entitled, and he thought it futile to try. But before he passes on, does he ever reflect and ask himself, what if I was wrong? What if I tried? What if it wasn't discrimination? And even if it was, would I have lived a better life if I had tried my best? Did I try my best? Again, those questions are almost moot as he passes away into irrelevance. The reason I bring these examples up is not out of wishful thinking, but rather to make one very important point. Liberals and leftists, just like everybody else, only get one life. They get one short, precious, finite life. And when it's over, they're done. They no longer exist. Their one opportunity for consciousness, sentient thought, and self-awareness in the universe is over. Sadly, most leftists waste this one opportunity. If you think about human life, though finite, its potential is unlimited. Given a conducive environment, we can do great things, live great lives, and leave a legacy for future generations. So the worst thing that can happen to us is if we somehow get impaired and are no longer capable of achieving our potential. Normally, we think about this in terms of a physical or mental impairment, but we can also be impaired ideologically. And the most debilitating ideological impairment or disease a person can get is leftism. The sheer potential a human could achieve only to have a childish, lazy, and naive ideology like leftism infect them, corrupt them, and prevent them from realizing that potential is the worst thing that could possibly happen to any human being. They have the mental capacity, they have the physical capacity, but they are philosophically impaired, sometimes philosophically paralyzed, and worse, it's self-inflicted. The consequences of being infected by leftism are life-destroying. Leftism not only infects, but damages every aspect of the host's life. It impairs the host's financial success by making them avoid any sort of challenging subjects. Quote, mathematics, engineering, the sciences are all too hard. Besides, follow your heart and the money will follow. It destroys the host's ability to find a mate. Quote, you're sexist for liking skinny girls, or you need a man like you need a bicycle. It decimates the host's family. Quote, you need a career. You can do it all. You can have it all. We need more government daycare. It installs envy, jealousy, even hatred for other people. Quote, rich people don't pay their fair share. It's those evil corporations holding us down, man. It even installs an autoimmune defense, ensuring nobody can treat it or remove it. Quote, you're just a racist, sexist, homophobic, bigoted, misogynist, ignorant, fascist, closed-minded. End quote. In the end, leftism owns the host. It dictates its every move, makes every decision, audits every thought, and ensures the host achieves only a fraction of what it was capable of. It takes the host's one single precious and only life in the universe and makes sure it pisses it away. The host never achieves what it could. It never makes any notable contributions to life. And because it's infected with such a warped philosophy, what precious little time it has being conscious, is largely spent in a tortured state of being angry, confused, disillusioned, and frustrated with the real world. Sure enough, the host will die, unheard of, uncared for, and ultimately irrelevant. The host's consciousness will have only been proven to be a wasted life. If there is revenge for the death of the United States, this is it. If there is payback for leftists ruining your life, this is it. The fact that most leftists and liberals took their one shot at life and chose to ruin it with a defeatist and pessimistic ideology like leftism should provide you the ultimate revenge. While you're making the best of your life, no matter what the challenges, leftists are entirely dependent on the state for their success and happiness. While you're wise enough to appreciate what you have in life, leftists stew away envying yours. And while you lay there on your deathbed, having no regrets because you know you lived the best life you could, the leftist is left to sit there and ponder. It is a revenge so harsh, it almost begets pity. Anyway, that is from the book Enjoy the Decline, and you can get that on Amazon along with the rest of my books. And so hopefully that answered the conversation I was having with my colleague. And for those of you who are very frustrated, very upset with leftists and want some kind of modicum of revenge on the left, there it is. Best of luck to you. You can read my other works over at captaincapitalism.blogspot.com. Check out my podcast, The Clary Podcast. And then, what's the other thing I do? Oh, my consulting division, Asshole Consulting, at www.assholeconsulting.com. Toodles.